Between 40 and 80%. 40 and 80% of people will completely drop out of an online course or some money-making activity in the first month or two. 40 to 80%. Commonly up to 95% in total after a few months. Why is that? Why do people not commit to themselves? So most commonly, we all know subconscious beliefs, we all know limiting beliefs, we all know those kinds of identities. Your nervous system and your subconscious mind fight like a motherfucker to stay consistent with the identity that you have about yourself. Maybe it started when you were 3, maybe it started when you were 10, but at some point along your life, you have developed a primary emotion towards success, towards yourself, towards relationships, towards money, all those kinds of things. Fear, sadness, anger, shame, guilt are the 5 primary emotions that will stop anybody from doing anything. Those are the 5 primary places that you'll find that have festering limiting beliefs or subconscious identities attached to. And they can be different. So you can feel guilt around money, and you can feel shame in relationships, and you can feel fear around leadership, for example. They can be different. But the big note here is that one of those 5 primary emotions are fueling the identity of people who want to do better consciously, but that's only 5% of their mind. The 95% of their mind is fueled by one of those 5 primary emotions. And so whenever they take a step towards getting better, making more money, finding the love of their life, etc., one of those 5 emotions are going to swoop down like a dragon and chase them back into their little comfort zone cage. And a lot of times it's not just with beliefs. A lot of times it's a nervous system, right? So when those emotions are trapped in your body, you will have a somatic response. And I've talked about this in previous videos, where when I went to set up an ad for one of my businesses, I just felt like I was drugged all of a sudden. My nervous system was like, nope, hit the fucking brakes. We're a loser. It sucks. But it takes a little bit of awareness and some work. Just like getting a 6-pack, you got to go to the gym, you got to eat healthy. If you want a better mind, you want to become unbounded, you want to make all the money in the world, you want to have the love of your life, you want to do all these kinds of things, you got to become aware of the emotions that are fueling these beliefs. You got to become aware of these beliefs, and you got to rework them into empowering beliefs. Once you become unbounded, once you become a transcender, which is what I call the highest level of consciousness in my work, you believe to your core, to your identity, that anything is possible with the right amount of effort and work. And it's true. You want to manifest? You ask for it and you go do it. And if you believe that anything's possible for you, as long as you put in the work, it'll happen. Long story long, make sure to give me a follow. Let's do it.